What is up, guys? Welcome back. Evan Aldo here. If you enjoy the content, please smash the like button. Want to show you first the latest trades I've been doing in the exclusive Discord. Then I'm going to get into Bitcoin, Ethereum. I want to talk about the S&P 500 a little bit as well. There's a rare bearish sign on Bitcoin. I think it's something a lot of people really overlook on Market Cypher, so I want to get into that, so stay tuned. So here, first let me show you the swing short I was in on the 7th the other day. This did pretty well, and had a swing short from before that hit its first take profit. That was on a different account. I do trade different trades on different accounts. I spread it around BITGET, BITGET, and MEXC. Those are my top three right now. I like MEXC the most right now because they're doing a really good, you don't need a VPN if you're in the US, and the promo is the best, and limit orders, you do not have to pay fees, which is really good. Market orders are even really cheap too. They're really good. If you're interested, link in the description below. Really good promo for just my audience, so check that out. And yeah, and let's see. So I did do a small Bitcoin day long. I mean, this environment is really, really bearish. So I did a small trade last night. Wasn't expecting too much. Got wicked out, unfortunately, but it's more about gradually over time hedging your bets in a way where you will make money. If we were in a more bullish environment, I think this easily would have won, but the tides are changing right now. And now I added to this Bitcoin swing short. So I like this a lot. You can add to trades kind of risk-free if you set your stop loss at your new entry point. And this so far is doing really well. So yeah, guys, if you're interested in the exclusive Discord, link in the description below. A lot of exclusive TA. I added a new one on macro analysis. This is like if you're not really a trader, you just want to know when to DCA in. There's a lot of good strategies I found out that I think are going to work really, really well that are coming up. So get into that too. I talk about stocks a little bit. It's less with stocks, and you see my charts, and a little bit with Forex as well. So let's get into this. So the first thing I want to show you here, guys, excuse me. First thing I want to show you here, guys, is this red X printing now on the 3-day on Bitcoin. And I just want to show you, I think this gets overlooked by a lot of people on Market Cypher A. Look at that trajectory. I mean, just look at if it's like that one. This was even the FCX drop down. This would bring you down to like 17K. If it's like FTX, I mean, I guess you could somewhat argue it's more of a black swan, back down to like 16. So we're on thin ice here. We're absolutely on thin ice. Even back here, I mean, this was a big, obviously huge drop down. This is like really ugly type stuff. I hope we don't get to, that would be pretty depressing if we get to 13K that quickly. That'd be kind of just ripping the Band-Aid off real quick in the next 2 months. Maybe if the Fed just really keeps hammering that 50 basis points, that could bring us there. The kind of the only thing, and then unemployment gets bad. Some more things happen with Russia, there's a lot of unpredictable things that could kind of happen right now. And I mean, there's always unpredictable things that could happen, but it seems more likely that crazy stuff will happen now. But anyway, that one, I mean, that was down a lot. And you could look at these. I mean, they pretty much all, I was looking at this, they pretty much, except like here, and even this was like a 7% drop down. Or no, this was a 7% down. I think this was a 12% drop down. So they pretty much all give you what you're kind of looking for. I mean, this even down to that kind of high volume node right there. It's kind of the worst case scenario I'm looking at right now for Bitcoin. I don't think we're going to get there. I mean, if you want my main guess, it's going to be kind of, I think we're going to hit the, let me just show you on the Bitstamp chart, because that I have the prediction on the line here. The Bitstamp chart, I think we're going to hit this area, which is my estimate of where the 500 weekly moving average will be. I think we'll hit it at some point. So if it's sooner, yeah, I mean, I guess it's at 12K right now. Let me just put this up for you guys. Sorry if this is taking too long. Didn't think it would take this long to get this, but yeah, this is kind of my estimate. This area, I think we'll hit it at some point. And I think that's potentially going to be your bottom. Now, the other things that we want to look at for just the trajectory we're in, the 2-week, this is going to curve down and print probably a blood diamond, most likely a blood diamond. Now, the last two ones, let me just show you on the Bitstamp chart. We got a little bit more data here. I should probably go back to using this one, but yeah, I mean, the last two, this wasn't the bottom, but it was still a big drop down. So these were big drop downs. So this is looking at a potentially pretty big drop down. I mean, even if it's like this one, you would still probably get down to 17, 18K pretty soon here. So that's what we're looking at right now on the 2-week there. And I think the 3-week and the 4-week, these are going to get into the red for probably the first time. The 3-week here coming down with the VWAP. This could be the sweet spot. I feel like I'm not sure, but I feel like this curving into the red whenever it does happen, that could be the bottom in the summer. If you see a bottom, in these lower areas kind of in summer, that could be the sweet spot. But But yeah, I do have a really, like I mentioned in Discord, really good DCA strategy that I'm looking for long-term for accumulation. Bitcoin, Ethereum, I think it's going to do really well. So yeah. And what I'm looking at here too is, these lower time frames, money flow coming out, looks like it can get deeper. We're losing this volume area low. That's not a good sign. The next spider line right now is going to be at about 21.2. There's a lot, that we could just push or, pull right through. I have a feeling you might just curve through this one through 21, just go right through this and then bounce around here more. Double spider lines are normally a little bit more powerful. Also, what I'm looking at too is a lot of times with the LXs, you could see, another 3 of these down to, kind of this area, maybe one, we'll probably see one right there, 3, 4, another 3, 4 down to this area, 20K could be there pretty soon. You could be there pretty soon. And like I mentioned, I mean, we could be with this, red X, we could be right back down to 17K, or excuse me, the one on the 3-day, the 2-day as well, would give you kind of the same thing here. We could be back down to these areas, 17, 18K pretty soon. I don't think it's, probably could get away with not longing for a while here and still do very well in this market. Obviously not financial advice, anything could happen, but yeah, I kind of feel like maybe the 5-hour rolls over, gets ELX here rather than coming up. But in terms of the more short term, I mean, there's always going to be more of a bullish case. And we don't know, obviously, everything that's going to happen. I mean, I don't think it's likely, but I do think that, I mean, who knows? You got 3 ELXs so far in the 2-hour. Maybe you could curve back up a little bit with this bullish div, but I think you're just going to get more ELXs and come down to 21 or this area next. So that's what I'm kind of looking at. We haven't even, the thing too, for a potential long, if you must look for a long right now, this to curve into the green, because we've just been in the red so long. But the other thing too that's scary is you come into the green, then you kind of just roll over. You know what I mean? You come into the green, kind of just roll over. So nothing is looking that optimistic now. Nothing is looking that optimistic right now. Let's move on to Ethereum. And the main trajectory here, I think this is kind of like the worst case scenario we could see for March, potentially right back down to 1100. That would be the same thing as if Bitcoin goes down to 18K, 17K. I mean, I guess there's a shot Ethereum could stay at like 1200, but I think it's going to start keep bleeding here more. You got the red X right there, and we could just map this out. What a lot of these have given us, it's right to that area. And then, I mean, this one was a buy signal, but I don't think with everything happening and how the macro looks, especially with these, high time frames, I believe the 9-day is now printing not in Heikkens, but on regular candles, it's now printing a red dot, which look at that one, that would bring you right down to that area, maybe even lower into the coming months, what I'm thinking. And on the macro, I'm thinking we could potentially come down even farther to kind of this area, right around there, 600, high fives right there. So that's what I'm looking at that area. And then if we look at some of these time frames, I think you get deeper in the money flow, and it's the same thing kind of like Bitcoin. I think we're gonna see more yellow X's kind of on our 4-hour, potentially bringing us down to like 1400 in the coming week or so. I think that could be potentially the area that we're looking at. So yeah, nothing looking too good right now. And I think our big drop down at the end of this rally is really happening. I think it's going to rattle a lot of people here. And, I think in terms of 50 basis points, still don't have, inflation under control. There's a lot of things that can bring us lower. I want to talk about the S&P 500, which is dumping right now. Well, coming down. This monthly Heiken Ashy candle has been coming up into red, into green. I think it's going to curve over into red, bring us down, roll over, get another red dot, similar to what we saw over back in 2001. Been a while since we've seen a recession, a bear market like this. Just rolling over, getting another green dot, and then at the next green dot, then we could talk about a potential bottom. There's a couple different possibilities here. I think kind of worst case scenario in the next 2 months, we could hit 3,000 here, and then more longer term scenarios. I mean, this is like bad case scenarios, but we're due to have a pretty bad recession. These areas, I don't know about potentially the pandemic lows, but maybe close to it. And then this is a more elongated kind of area into April of 2024. If it's like 2001, you could see that kind of coming down. I do think that Bitcoin will bottom out before this, as I believe it did in 2018 and even in the pandemic drop down. So that's a thing to keep an eye on as well. And then I'll just show you Tesla for real quick. I think this is a lot of these that rallied up a lot are going to start to really come back down, especially with the weekly about to print a little trigger wave there. You have blood diamond there, bring it down. There's a lot of things that are bearish on this. Anyway, guys, that's all I really got right now. Please leave a like. Please subscribe to the channel. And check out the exclusive Discord down below if you're interested in the exclusive TA and some of those trade entries and long-term DCA strategies as well. I think it's a really good value. And by the way, guys, the last thing I want to mention is MEXC, Bybit, BitGet down below, all really good exchanges. MEXC has the best promo right now and the lowest fees, and no VPN if you're in the US. If you use my link, there's also a enter to win $500. The odds are pretty good to get that, so that's not something like it's 1 in like thousands. That's like pretty good odds. I think it's under 1 in 100 even. If you do on any of those exchanges, if you deposit at least $100 and let me know, give me the email you used to, shoot me a DM on Discord with the email you used to sign up or the UID, I will give you 1 month free in my exclusive Discord. All right, guys, have a good one. Goodbye.